Let's go top 5 rappers real quick. All right, let's go top 5 and then give me Cole or Kendrick. Obviously, you just said it, but
Rick Ross. It's a
you
lot
wouldn't even put Cole in your
J.
top
Cole.
5.
I was about to say J. Cole.
He was trying to do it.
I was about to say J. Cole, but
he wasn't trying to do it.
Yeah, I'll put Cole. He'll be in my top 5.
6.
Like,
He'll be 6, huh?
Nah, he'll be 5. We talked about it yesterday. 5. Sorry, not Cole.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you that one. All right, if you had to pick Kendrick, Cole, all right, we're going to talk about it for a second. Because I keep telling this man, they equal. I tell this man, let me know. In the comments below, let me know. Okay, they equal. They equal. And he don't think so. He think Kendrick better. Say what you said, man. Back at it. Been a while, been a long time, but we back at it finally. Just want to say, man, how does it feel? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's been a while, like you said, bro. We haven't done this in a while, so it's good to be back, trying to pick up where we last were. So we're going to go even harder now, so.
Yeah, it's been busy, been a lot of work, been a lot of, like pretty much just doing our own thing for a little bit, but we back at it. Just wanted to keep doing what we love. We got a special guest today, Mr. Lionell Wiggins.
Yes,
how you
sir.
feeling today?
Feeling good, feeling blessed as always.
All right, that's
you get
what's
to
up.
always live another day.
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Born and raised, where you from, all that. Let's go. Let's get into it.
You said Lionell Wiggins, born in Alabama, raised in Compton, so I pretty much claim Compton for the most part, but at the same time, you know, I do also claim, you know, where I was born because, you know, I do go visit up there, got a lot of family up there, and, you know, I just love pretty much everywhere where I was born and where I'm raised, so I pretty much claim both, but anytime when everybody asks me where I'm from, I'm always going to say Compton because I feel like that's what made me who I am today. You know, just pretty much growing up in that environment, and I just want to be nothing. You know, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't, you know, growing up in all those circumstances that I went through.
Yeah, that's facts.
So did you go to high school out there too in Compton?
Yeah, so pretty much went through pretty much the younger schools like in Compton, and then when I hit 7th and 8th grade, my mom wanted me to experience life on the South.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I went out there, but I was at a high school because it went 7th through 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
So lived out there for my 7th and 8th grade year, and then, you know, kind of wanted to, you know, just come back home, and then I went to so she took me to this like private school, so Fairmont Prep. So she wanted me to really be around the neighborhood a lot. So I had to always commute all the time from Compton all the way to Anaheim just for school.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Just that's
That's a long distance, man. That's quite.
Yeah, I took 2 trains and a bus, and a train and 2 buses every time, man. You know, leaving at like 5 a.m. to go to school and then coming back at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So
hey, all that for a good education, though.
exactly.
Man.
So
yeah, those prep schools, they don't compare to the public schools.
Oh yeah.
Is that like so? Like most of the public schools, like that's pretty much what was around.
Yeah, pretty much,
around your neighborhood is what I mean. Like
yeah, it was a lot of public schools. The ones I really wanted to go to, because we had Compton Centennial, and then we had Bourbon Day, which was a Catholic school that she really wanted me to go to, but I couldn't go because I think I was 13 at the time going into my freshman year, and then you have to be 14 to attend Bourbon Day, because I guess like one day out of the week you always have to like go downtown to LA to work or something. So it was just the age requirement that stopped me from going to Bourbon Day High School.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So kind of give us a little bit of your background as far as like what you got you started. So he's a football player, up and coming football player. Still kind of going through the journey, trying to get on the team right now. Like, tell us a little bit about what got you started.
Or when did you start?
Yeah.
Like actually when you picked up the football?
I think I picked it up at a very young age. I think basketball was my first sport. That was like my love first. But my body continuously will always.
It always seems like that's everybody's first sport, bro. Like, am I wrong?
Yeah,
like
that was his first love, man.
Yeah, that's mine too. Go ahead.
But yeah, so basketball was like that was mainly where my passion was. I think mainly because it was Kobe. Like that was probably like the first celebrity I ever knew.
Hey, shout out Kobe.
Shout out Kobe. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
for real.
That was like the first, like, just always, watching Kobe. It was like, damn, I need to play basketball.
Yeah.
So played basketball. sucked. I ain't gonna lie. I sucked at first, you know, but you feel I'm a little legit. But and then I think you just seeing my brother, cause my brother he was like the first, like kind of like I looked up to him, you know, without no father figure in your life. And so he's having my brother around. I'm seeing him playing football, you know, always, you know, driving to his high school games. I mean, college games and all that. And then it just kind of just made me pretty much used to pick up a football. And then I kind of just started off, you know, just like being in the front yard, you know, playing by myself, you know, just throwing it up, act like you in the game, live game situation, running people over.
Dreaming, that's what it's about, man.
And so you just used to do that. And then you started playing street football, like in the neighborhood, you know, with friends and all that. And then ended up getting into Pop Warner football. But the crazy part about it, so when I first started, you know, my friends like, oh, come join us. And then I went to probably the first practice. And then at the end of the practice, the coach tells us all to get in the circle. And then tells us what year were you born and all that. Told him my year. And then he was like, oh yeah, you can't play your first year. He said, but you can play flag football. And then
you were too young?
Yeah, I was too young.
Oh, okay. I was like, man.
And then so too young. And then he told my mom, he was like, yeah, he's too young or whatever. And then then the next day I tried out flag football, and it was too easy because, you know, I'm juking the kids and all that. And I said, I can't.
Oh, you started like that at an early age? Okay.
So I did that, then so I pretty much waited till the following year till I was old enough, then started playing, you know, Pop Warner football.
Yeah.
How tall were you when you were playing flag?
I think I was taller than most of the kids.
Taller than most kids now.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was like. How tall were you then?
I was taller, but more, you know, more skinnier. So
okay.
I was more shifty, you know, at that age. So
Yeah. You so kind of what got you into transitioning? What kind of was set your mind into, all right, this is something I think when did you start taking it serious?
Yeah. When were you like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to go far with.
I think it took me probably, I want to say, till high school, really. You just play part when you just a kid, you just think I'm out here, you're just trying to get out the house, you know, you just be around your friends and all that. And, go through high school, freshman year pretty much played all sports, football, baseball, and basketball. Mm-hmm. So, you know, playing all sports. And then I think when it took me till I want to say my junior year, really, where I started getting all these letters, you know, for football and all that. And I'm like, okay, I can really do this. But even then, even though I want to say I did kind of take it serious, my younger years, but I feel like I really didn't because I think it was just mainly, I don't want to say forced, but it was kind of just my brother always had me training, throughout the whole time. Every time, in the summer, I'll be with him, doing all this training and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, it didn't really click to me, what can I really do with this? And then it took me till I got to high school, this is what he really was trying to do. Yeah. Until I got to high school, started dominating, starting varsity as a true freshman, and all this kind of stuff. And then, once I started, just getting those letters, I'm okay, I could really, pursue this. Mm-hmm. And, going into my senior year of high school, then that's when I was kind of debating, I just want to, put baseball and basketball to the side and, not.
Whoa. You played baseball?
Yeah.
You played baseball in high school?
Yeah, my senior year.
Damn. Okay, I think I remember you telling me that, but kind of give us a story. What made you pick up a baseball?
Yeah, interest in that.
Yeah.
So I played my younger years. I used to just kind of just being in the neighborhood. We just we all had a baseball, but we just used to mess around.
Oh, okay.
And then was kind of was going to play in my young years the little travel leagues and all that, but. Didn't have the money for it. So I always had a thing to want to play baseball, mainly because, Jackie Robinson. Yeah. Really. So that's kind of mainly where that pretty much all my sports pretty much started from a guy that's that's big. So so mainly Jackie Robinson, you just hearing his story and then hearing all the sports that he played, and it kind of made me want to do that when I got to high school. Yeah. And then pretty much just focus on basketball and football mainly through my high school years. And then I was this is my last year. I don't really have nothing to lose. So I was this is something I really wanted to do. I wanted to play baseball. Yeah. And I was so I went up to the coach. Me and him was real cool with each other. And I said, I want to be on the baseball team. And then.
That's dope.
What'd you play?
Baseball team. I played outfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to be, take some talent to play outfield.
Yeah. And then the funny thing too, during that time, so
some speed too.
So I was in acting as well. So during basketball season, I would play basketball. Then after practice, I'll go like to theater. 'Cause I was in like the school plays and stuff. And like outside of like in front of our school, we had like that's where they had our soccer practice. And then I'm like, bro, it's easy. I could do that. And so he's like, yeah, come out. And then so he had me at goalie. And then I'm doing good blocking the balls and all that kind of stuff. He said, oh, you want to play the next game tomorrow? And then I'm like, nah, I'm cool. So
This man could have played soccer too.
For a second, I would play soccer, but I was like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Especially like you're seeing the balls coming in high. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna save myself.
You might take one to the chest. Yeah, your whole chest cave in.
Man.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, and then kind of give us a little like a moment where it kind of took you to that next step. Like, what was that moment like? Because I know you explained like what kind of got you into like when you start taking it serious, but there was a moment that you were like, nah, I'm doing this. Like, what was that moment for you? Like, was it getting a letter? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that moment like? And can you kind of...
My moment was, oh, man, it's been plenty of moments, really. But I think the main one was, like, kind of just like, okay, like, I need to, like, get focused. That's when so I walked into my coach's office, and then, like, usually like, you'll walk in there, he'll have all, like, the letters on his door. And then I seen one from USC.
Oh.
And then, so, you know.
Wow, that's a great moment
Yeah,
right
so,
there.
going from, being in LA, that's like your dream school. You
Right.
just playing in that Coliseum. So when I seen the USC with my name on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, like this crazy. I opened it real quick, looking at it, telling me to, come to a camp and all that kind of stuff. And then, so I think that, like, that moment right there was kind of like, okay, I could really do this. Like, it's so, like, someone's really looking at me like this.
Yeah.
Like, this school, you just think about the Reggie Bush.
USC?
And, like, all this kind of stuff. So that was, like, my wake-up moment right there for me.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. And then talk about your college experience, like.
So where did you go first, and then
What was your first college, and then?
Yeah, so during that time, I was getting a lot of offer letters, all that, like D2s and all this kind of stuff, and then what messed up my situation, I ended up having to go the JUCO route, mainly for grade situations, then pass the clearinghouse and all that kind of stuff, mainly because I think it was just the school I was at. Went to a prep school where it was like something was hard to like kind of like catch on, really. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was hard for me at times.
they expect you to get like with the program right away,
immediately. So I'm like, knowing where I come from, I come from schools where like,
That's how prep school is?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like they make you like, so you go in like they make you take like this little test first, and they kind of like place you where you at.
Oh.
And then like throughout that time they want to like they try to push you like to take those AP classes, honors class. I'm like, I can't do that.
Oh, they're like that.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
They're different.
Yeah, so ended up having to go the JUCO route, and then during that time I was getting a lot of JUCOs, to go like to LA Valley and pretty much anywhere around the neighborhood. But my brother, wanted me to kind of stay away, from home. So then he was like, come to San Jose City College. That's where he was coaching at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then so he pretty much just went.
Your brother coach you?
Yeah, he coached.
Oh,
well, at first
Whoa.
he didn't coach me till my last year at JUCO.
Okay.
Because,
I mean, you still got a chance to. Yeah.
Dang.
Pretty much went that JUCO route. Pretty much like I graduated. I forgot the day I graduated. It was like May 22nd, and then like the next day, I wanted to be done with like everybody from high school, really. So the next day, I was gone. Like moved to the Bay, and started training with at San Jose City College, and then pretty much I was a receiver, and I pulled.
Bro, let's just remind the people real quick. This man is a D lineman. He was in that as a receiver. Let's talk about how dynamic that is. That's pretty dynamic.
Hey, receiver, that's crazy.
That's as dynamic as it can get right now. So
I still got it though. Don't let the size fool you.
Hey, he can play tight.
Nah, he can move. He can move for a
He
big
can play
dude. So.
tight. Go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much during that time, and then it was crazy because one of the JUCOs that was hitting me in LA, they wanted me to play safety.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a receiver at heart. Like I gotta play receiver. And then during that time, like when I would go to the Bay to train with my brother and stuff, like the receiver, the trainer who used to train me was a receiver coach at San Jose City College. So I'm like, he knows me, he gonna get me better and all this kind of stuff. And so got there, doing good, dogging everybody. Like as a young one, think about I'm 17 going into college, and then boom, then one practice pulled my hamstring, and then pulled the hamstring. You still, you young still, like you don't gotta, I ain't gotta stretch, I ain't gotta do that kind of stuff. So like it was one practice, like I just came back, I think it was like class or something, and then. And you know how the DB coaches and receiver, they always gonna go at it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'll pick one guy right now. You pick your lineup, and then I just came from like the student center, boom, and then I just
He hopped
my
out.
picks up, and he's like, Lionell, come on.
He hopped off the desk on the field.
So boom, lined it up, and then he said, we're gonna tell you his route, fade route. So they knew the route, and then boom, I gotta push them off the line, boom, gone. And then as I'm running, boom, like hammy just popped, and I felt it. And then like I slowed down, still ran. I'm thinking like, I don't know. I'm thinking like, you feel me? It's just a little something just randomly happened. Still caught the ball though, and then I remember standing up and like I just felt something like jello like in my hammy. I'm like,
Oh dang!
They're like, yeah, you pulled it. And then so that whole situation happened, and then sat out probably like 2 weeks, and then came back, pulled it again. And then came back again for the second scrimmage, and then pulled it again. They was like, yeah, bro, you just gotta sit it out. And I'm all right, cool. And then so pretty much, it was a receiver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like that for soft tissue injuries. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. You got to be very careful. There's guys that I think in college that they come in, they don't ever get them fixed. Like there's some guys that just happens. Like they pull a hammy, they do well, they stretch, they're doing all the right things, and then they pull it again. It's very tricky with soft tissue injuries.
And that's what you were saying too. Is like in order for you to like really fix it, you have to have surgery, huh? I think you were telling me that.
Yeah, that's why it's crazy. Cause they say sometimes it's better to tear it than to pull it because surgery, like they can really get in there and work on it. But yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, you just got the athletic trainers doing that. Yeah. So I mean, talking about your JUCO experience to your college experience, can you kind of give us like what was the college that you went to out of JUCO?
So went to San Jose City College, and I think that's for me. That's kind of like what really woke me up. 'Cause I think in high school, like you have that motivation, but at the same time, it's like I think most times it's like the people that's around you that's gonna really that's gonna like push you to that next step.
Yeah.
And then I think just being in high school that I was at, like I didn't really have like nobody to like kind of push me. But until like the only time, that's why I said like my junior year when I got those USC letters.
Just real quick, can you say that for the people? Okay, just say that part again because that's important about it. Yeah.
It's just motivation. Sometimes it's like the people that's around you is gonna be the main ones that push you. Like you gotta have like those good people, no matter what it is. It don't even have to be sports. It could be like just in life, in the business aspect. Like whoever you surround yourself by, that's gonna tell you how far you're gonna go.
Yeah,
but surround yourself for the right reasons. Don't do it because you know you're gonna come up.
Yeah.
Do it because you have a passion too, and it's gonna help you work hard. Exactly. That's what he's pretty much saying.
Yeah. Got to be genuine.
Do it out of love, man. Out of love, it loves you back if you love it. You know what I'm saying? But the right way.
Yeah.
But, sorry, go ahead, continue.
I think just that whole time, like, and I think that's the only like I had like I wouldn't say regrets, but I think I just kind of just wanted to like. Cause it was times I wanted to hit just wanted to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was crazy. 'Cause, like my first year, I was with my cousin, like at the prep school, and then he left, and then the whole time he like, bro, come on, like we better than this, like and all this kind of stuff. And then during that time, I was kind of just trying to stay loyal and thinking like, I might get something better from out of this. And one ended up kind of happening, but not really. So he ended up leaving. Then going into my junior year, I remember getting like a lot of calls, like my brother calling me like, transfer, friends telling my brother, transfer, come here. And then during that time, like at that point I was 100% in of like I wanted to leave, but then they had that rule where like if you transfer you're gonna have to sit out that whole year.
Yeah.
And that was like then think about
it's a waste of a year.
Waste of a year, I'm not gonna play. So then either way I'll still have to go that JUCO route, which pretty much still happened. But yeah, so pretty much played, and then I think just being there at junior college kind of like it's a awakening moment for you, like it kind of like wakes you up, and then everybody we all there, same goal, same mentality, and then so that kind of like what pushes you really. So just being there, that was like the first time I could really say like I was around like a lot of dogs, like offense side of the ball, defense side of the ball. Special teams is like, we always had that mindset, like you're hungry, and
every one of those dudes. And if you're a JUCO person, you know what that feeling is like to have everybody around you that wants it just as bad as you. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's the best experience. So like he said, if y'all know, y'all know. And so that was like, and that's really like, that really what made me take weight room serious. Because like in high school, like I was really like, my legs was naturally strong. So like leg day, I'd go up under, hit a squat and all that. But like upper body, like I just hated upper body. So, but like.
You hated upper body?
I hated upper body.
Oh, that's the first. I never heard of that before.
I just hated like bench. Cause I think it was because like I couldn't lift a lot.
Oh,
like, bench,
okay.
like I only had 25s on each side of the bar. So like as a high school, like in high school, then I didn't really start putting up like weight until probably like my second year of JUCO. I think because after like that like when you get injured, kind of like you go through a lot of stuff in life. You you get depressed, and that was like the first time I remember like just having that conversation with my brother. He was like, you'll sit out this year, and then like I cried like right there in the car because I just never had that experience of like sitting out like missing a game, and then. Went through, was kind of like depressed, sad about it, pretty much every emotion with it. And just always being out there on the practice field, just like pretty much watching everybody practice and just having that feeling like, dang, like I wish I could be out there with y'all. And then, so I think just after that, once I got fully healed, I was like, I think at that time it kind of like, God don't, everything happens for a reason, so God don't make mistakes. So I feel like he took that injury for me to kind of like, be mentally prepared, physically prepared, and then so coming into like that summer, like that little spring ball that we have, like kind of just like gave me that eager and that that mindset to like, all right, now it's time to work.
Yeah.
And then pretty much came back that my second year, and then pretty much had a decent year coming back as a receiver.
Yeah.
Did well, and the crazy part about it, like I put on weight, so I came in at probably like 180. And then going into that second year, I was like 215.
Dang,
like a big receiver. So
yeah.
And then but during that time doing the season, you start losing weight. But it was crazy. Cause like throughout the whole season, we only had I think 4 or 5 receivers throughout the whole season. Everybody, some people was ineligible, injured. So it was like,
bro, it happens like that at JUCO. Like you get guys like during the summer. I had that same experience. Like as far as that goes, like we get guys during the summer that are coming in, they ready, like. And they're getting more reps than you, and they pushing, and then come towards the season time, they're ineligible. Their transcript, their papers didn't go through. That was a story every time. My papers didn't go through. I'm not cleared, and all these other things. So then the coaches are like, "Well, we've been working with these guys all summer. It's like, now what?" And I was like, "You got to deal with us. Like, you got to put us in." So yeah, I mean that's just how it goes at JUCO. Like you go from literally not playing to you could play because these guys are ineligible. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It works like that. It's crazy.
Oh, the worst part, like when they get ineligible, like mid-season. So now you like have, it's like,
you
like what?
Oh, like yeah,
it's crazy. Like you come to practice and you see like, dang, we missing some numbers because you like JUCO is like you don't really have to show up really because like you on your own really. So like, but like so you constantly like see it throughout the time, but then. And then, when you start seeing them numbers, like, dang, like, boom, then you start hearing, like, oh, he's ineligible. And I'm like, wow, like, week 5, like, now you only got, like, 20 players on the team type. And then,
It'd be like that. It'd be like that with some guys because they're betting, like, okay, this will go through, so we going to play you anyways. And then so they'll play them, and then it just doesn't work out. It's crazy. It works. Yeah, but so like your experience going from there, did you go to a college straight out of high school or no? It's just straight to JUCO, right?
Yeah, straight to JUCO.
So from JUCO to your college experience, like kind of give us like that experience and like the difference in like whether it was program structure or guys or people, like kind of give us that like rundown. Also like I'm also kind of curious like how it got you to where you're in like next college.
The process. It's different. I think being at the JUCO, I was blessed to have like not I wouldn't even just call them coaches, like they was like mentors really. I feel like just kind of like not piggyback, but I know most times like when you get to like the next like the D1, D2 levels and all that kind of stuff. I know most times coaches say like like we're gonna be the ones that's like you know, when you get that job offer, when you get married, like we're gonna be the first ones you call. And I feel like it's a difference. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the real coaches to me was like coming from JUCO because like in JUCO like they volunteer, like they don't get paid, like they do this out of like their own time, like they go to work and then come, and then you just like come.
They actually want to see their athletes win and be successful.
Like, so I feel like like with that,
it also helps them as well. Like it helps them gain that coaching experience.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of JUCO coaches, they'll go coach at D1 levels or D2 levels. Like,
makes sense.
Yeah, kind of just like when I was at like San Jose State, like the running back coach, he was a coach at Contra Costa, like one of the teams that we played against.
Oh, okay.
And then when I got to San Jose State, like he was one of the coaches. But yeah, I think just high school. I think it depends on really like the high schools you go to, like you know with the programs. You know you have some of those like powerhouse high schools like the Modern Days, the Boscos, and all that kind of stuff where they have like there's more structure to it. And then where like as my high school, like we didn't really, it was kind of just like we didn't really like everybody, like it was a prep school, so like they didn't really like put sports first. So it was always about academics. So they kind of just like. I feel like sometimes I was just like at a PE class, you know, just like being that practice just because like how much like it wasn't like no true programs to it, and
that was at JUCO.
High school.
That was in high school.
JUCO,
Yeah.
Then getting to JUCO, I think I was kind of more to like a real actual program. We had our O-line coach, LZ, pretty much had structured everything down from kid. You know, he been there. You know, he played at the NFL level. He played. You know, at Hawaii for football, so he knew how to run a strength program, and then so I feel like the program that he kind of put it in a way to like kind of used to like get you right onto the field, and so I feel like I was in a good situation there because all the coaches like they were well experienced, they knew what they was talking about, they played at that D1 level, so I feel like he's being.
And there's a difference too. It's a difference too when you have a coach like that.
Yeah.
Then you trust them more.
Exactly.
Like you trust them a lot more to do their job, and then you trust them like whatever they're telling you because they've been through it.
Exactly.
Like you trust them a little bit more. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So pretty much, I used to pretty much put my all into them. Like what they were saying, I was all ears. Taking notes. In the meeting rooms. To the weight room. So. I was bought into the system, just hearing from everything that they had said.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. And then, so you have a question?
Yeah, I actually do. It's like kind of backtracking. So wait, what's your position that you actually want to play? Because you play receiver, and then was it D-line?
Yeah.
So what's your position that you actually like to?
Well, like now, right now I don't like saying D-line because like when you put D-line, you add like the the nose and the 3 tech, like the tackle, like. Those heavy guys. I always say I'm an edge rusher, outside linebacker, but yeah, like during that process, like I was always like a receiver, and then second year I was a receiver. Like when I came back from my injury, I was a receiver, and then kind of like I was saying, like when everybody get ineligible like mid-season, and then I started playing. I was playing receiver, and then I had to play free safety because they was like this is just nothing over top of your head. That's all you got to worry about, and then kind of take me then into my third year, technically my second year because I didn't play my first year, and then again train hard, getting ready. So my last year is like JUCO's like so this where the offer's gonna come, this where like all my blood, sweat, and tears gonna come, and so get ready for the first game, and then like the day of the game, like they tell me I'm ineligible. And I'm saying I'm lost. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, I got a 3.3 GPS. Like, is the way I'm
for
ineligible.
what?
Yeah.
And then so kind of find out they were saying, I guess like my coach, I guess someone signed off and said that I played my first year because JUCO you got 2 years of eligibility.
Oh,
and so I guess like he said I was signed off. Oh,
they did you like that?
Yeah, did me like that. So I had to sit out pretty much I sat out the first 5 weeks of the season because like during that time like so they have to pretty much like go through the CCCAA, and they have to watch every game film from that first year.
Dang.
To make sure I didn't touch the field. And then I guess it was one away game. I guess someone that had a jersey, so one of them wore my jersey, like the number that I had on the roster my first year. And then good thing he was a D lineman, and I'm like you could tell the size difference. And then so pretty much that was like a whole like 4 or 5 week process. So the whole time I'm still
It took
practicing.
him 4 weeks for that.
4 weeks.
To just
It
see.
take them 1 week. It take them 1 day to kick you off the field. It take them 4 weeks to get you back on, bro.
Exactly. So
Nah,
yeah, so
what?
you have to go through that process. Then like every like the executives, like everybody had to like sign off and then come back to the president. And so that whole process, and then I came back week 5, and then I played week 5, and then I was kind of like receiver, tight end, did good coming back. But doing as a receiver, during that time, like once that second, third week go, like the receivers like they got their flow, the connections there. So now this kind of like not really getting in, where it's like it's gonna be hard for me to get my starting spot back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then come back week 6, and it's a away game. And then wasn't getting thrown in, like, so first quarter go by, wasn't getting thrown in, and then second quarter go by, wasn't getting thrown in, and then our defense, it was getting pretty much like beat the whole time. And then I remember my D coordinator and my brother, they come up to me and it was like, you want to rush the edge? And then I'm just trying to play, like, I don't care, like,
You don't care where you at.
Nah. At that point, you trying to get out.
Yeah, it's by any means, like, I'm gonna do anything. They told me
It was your last year too, huh?
last year, so
Yeah.
Wow.
I snap the ball, I was gonna snap it.
Yeah.
But so,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't care, I'm gonna snap whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like so I was like, cool. And then we go into halftime, and then they talked to me. They was like, look, we want to put you at linebacker, but like it's a lot of coverages. Like they was like, just go on in, just rush the quarterback. I'm already cool. And then over there, you start going crazy, and then making plays, everything. And then after that, you just like, you
So I like this shit.
Yeah, it's like, hey, those times, like, and that's why I like too. Like I was always in the action. It was like, whereas the receivers, like, sometimes you got to go run a clear route, and then you got to come back. Like, I would get tired of that, because I was like, most time, like, no, I was always a team player. But most times, like, if I got to run a fade route, like, I want to get the ball, because, like, I don't want to run that deep, and then it's an incomplete pass, and then, like,
You gotta do what you gotta do for the team. I know what the feeling is like, because you like running deep and you beat the guy, but you're not play side, and so they gotta check play side first, and then if they like the matchup, they'll take it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I know how it feels. I mean, but sometimes you just gotta take it, bro. You just gotta take it to the chin on those ones.
I did it, but by the end of the day, in your head, you just like, dang, like, come on now. but yeah, so I just pretty much played DN. And then came back that following week, and then my receiver coach came up to me, was like, you going to be with us or you going to defense? I'm just going to go to defense. And then pretty much had, like, throughout the 4 games, like, at defense, I had, like, 33 tackles. I think it was, like, 2 forced fumbles, so I went crazy within them 4 games. And then that kind of, like, transitioned me, got me the opportunity, to go play at San Jose State. But during that time, I was also having, like, a lot of D2s coming at me. Hampton, I was going to go there and all that kind of stuff. So that got me to San Jose State, and then pretty much being an outside linebacker.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, and what's the biggest difference from from JUCO to San Jose State? Like just in general, could be the locker room, could be the school environment. Like, what was the biggest difference as far as like JUCO to San Jose State?
I think the big difference, I want to say yes. You have to be there, really. I think at the JUCO level, it's kind of like you on your own. Like, everything. Like, you pretty much take care of everything. Like, you gotta, like, gas wise, you gotta, and think about it, also too, I was commuting. Like, it wasn't like, cause like JUCO is like, it's no housing situations or like nothing. Well, it depends. Like, if you go to like Last Chance U and all that, like, that's gonna be taking care of you. But most JUCOs real like is nothing like that. Like, you on your own.
But most of them, those towns, they in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Like San Jose State, were you guys in the middle of nowhere, or no, not San Jose State, excuse me, San Jose City College? Were you guys were in a city technically?
Yeah,
right?
so we're it's pretty much it was like San Jose. It was kind of like, I don't want to get it wrong, like kind of like south side of San Jose. So you kind of like, I was 10 minutes away from like San Jose State. Like I literally just like hop on the freeway and then probably like drive down like probably like three or four exits, and I'm like right there in San Jose. So like I was close to like downtown, because San Jose State, like, you're in the heart of downtown. So like right when you leave the campus, you hit downtown, you hit like all the bars and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of like, so you was in the city, but you in Silicon Valley, so it's real life expensive.
Dude, I'm
I
already
bet.
knowing. It's California, regardless.
Yeah, I bet.
So
California.
Yeah, so I pretty much I commuted to like I commuted from Oakland to San Jose.
Oh.
And then
And I'm saying, but I don't know. Like, could you give us like an estimate of how long it took you?
so if you without traffic, it's a 45-minute drive.
Oh,
and then,
dang.
And then with traffic, it's a cool like hour 30, hour 40, could reach up to 2 hours. And then so during that time, like my brother, he would work during that time. He had worked in Palo Alto, which is kind of like where like Stanford and all that kind of stuff is.
Yeah.
And then so like I would have to wake up. So like we'll have to leave the house at 5-8. Like we'll wake up. We have to leave the house by like 5 or 5:30. And then he'll drop me off at BART, which is kind of like next to the old Raider Stadium, the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So he'll drop me out there, and then I'll have to take the train all the way to Fremont, which then that's probably like a 25, 30-minute train ride. And then after that, I have to get off the BART, and then hop on the 181 bus, and then it'll take me to Fremont all the way to downtown San Jose. And then I'll have to take the 62, and then that would take me pretty much right there by the school. So, and then because like out there, like, because it was the 880, so if you didn't leave, so like if you wasn't on the freeway by 6 a.m., you hit in traffic immediately.
Dang.
And then so I had to commute all the time. And
I was very fortunate to actually that's incredible. There's a lot of guys that do it in JUCO. I was like it's crazy because I was very fortunate. I was commuting, but my commute with traffic was only an hour. Like it was only an hour with traffic. Without traffic, it's like actually scratch that. It's 45 minutes with traffic, and then 25 or 30 without traffic if you just get in the carpool, go all the way. But like especially if you had carpool, it was clutch.
Oh yeah,
But see, and if you by yourself, like they commute, but they may shoot. That's a lot of effort. I mean, that's grind.
for real. That's love.
It's real dedicated. It's crazy. Like it's like a few people, and like one of my best friends, Gilbert, he talks to about it all the time. Like he clowns me about it. Like I would literally I would come to school with like a backpack and a duffel bag. And I have a big duffel bag, like it got snacks, like
extra clothes too, huh?
Extra clothes.
Yeah.
Like, I would come to everything. I'm always prepared, and I think that's where I got like a lot of my respect from. It was like, bro, like you don't really have to do this. Like you coming like an hour away where everybody else is just driving 10 minutes to school, like.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where I got like a lot of my respect from. But then, and that's what kind of like just made me like grind harder. Like really, it was just kind of like. I didn't have to do that. I could have gave up, easily in that situation. But, yeah, it was a grind. So I think just, I was thinking that was the main difference. Just kind of like just going from a JUCO to a D1 or a 4-year. Just kind of like, yes, you have to, kind of JUCO level is kind of like you on your own. You don't really have to, like, you can wake up, but I don't want to go to school today. Or you can wake up like, I don't feel like going to practice. And then where, you at that next level is kind of like, you have to be there. It's like, 8 a.m. Like,
yeah, you have to be there. They done with you.
So
they paying for you. They done with you. They paying that school, like you said, volunteer. And some of them don't get scholarships. Some of them don't have FAFSA coming. I know I was one of those kids that I had my parents. They made up but didn't make enough. So most of that money I was paying for school myself.
Yeah,
I was paying for all my cleats, all that stuff. But I was also working. Not during season. During season, I've been too much. But like off season, I worked and I saved money so I'd be able to pay for classes and stuff. But it is hard. It's a grind, especially when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I was blessed too. Yeah, I think my first year in JUCO, I didn't work. I was like, cool, I have financial aid, and then once you get that FAFSA, like it runs out immediately. Like you really pretty much gotta balance that like throughout the whole like I want to say. Well, like 3 to 4 months until you get like that next reimbursement. But after that, I was blessed to pretty much work at the school. So I was a student ambassador, so I pretty much worked at the front desk. So that kind of like, helped me kind of like just, get some money in my pocket to be able to like take care of myself to buy like cliques or whatever like for the season and all that.
So then, how was your transition? You went to San Jose and then you went to NAU. Right?
So yes, I was at San Jose City College, and then I went to San Jose State, and then I was there, and then hit the portal during the COVID season, and then ended up at NAU.
Oh, okay. And you finished 2 years over there, or did you do the?
So
how was that?
At San Jose State?
No, at NAU.
NAU, I did 1 year. 1 year. Yeah, so I played. I came in and played the COVID season during that spring, and then came back this last fall and played that season. So I got pretty much 2 seasons under my belt with them, which was good.
How was the difference from like San Jose and then NAU? Like competition wise, like with your teammates and all that, just practicing.
It's way different. It's crazy. No disrespect, but I think like at the Mount West level, it's more competitive, and at our practice at San Jose State, it was more competitive. It was kind of like, it wasn't like JUCO, but it was at the same time. Just knowing like, we had certain dogs on our team.
Okay.
So it was pretty much a grind every day. We all here, at that point, because like at JUCO, it's all right. We're grinding like, to get to the next level. And then you get to the D1 level now, like, you have people like, people grinding like, to get to the NFL level,
right.
CFL or whatever. Or you have some people that, they just want to be, just good college players. And so I think it was just like every level you go to, it was always like a mission, for whatever it was for somebody on that team. So I think it was just like the practices were more competitive, more live. And then, get to NAU and I don't know, it kind of like slowed down for me. Like it was kind of like sometimes like I thought I was at high school again, like playing at NAU just because like how like the practice was, and then really like it was like my first game like when I played during the COVID season. I think it was where I played at. Was it Weber? I think it was Weber. Weber was my first game because I didn't play the first 2 games of the COVID season. Then we got to Weber, and then I played, and then I finally go in the game, and like when I tell you the game was like slowed down for me, like. It slowed down. Like it was like I thought I was at practice, like in the game, just like how slow like the game was. But you got to adapt to it. But at the same time, I made sure I was still going full speed.
Still locked in.
Is there? I don't even know if you want to answer it, but I'm gonna just ask you. Is there a reason why you went to NAU from San Jose?
So it's a lot of stuff that kind of went behind the scenes. I don't want to go put nobody really on blast, but
okay.
I think, during that so COVID started happening, so we all had to, quarantine, and then we finally was able to kind of like be back together as a team, and then so like during that process, so it was like summer. I want to say like summer we started like doing summer workouts and all that kind of stuff, and then and at that point I graduated, so I had graduated during COVID, and then I also had an extra year of eligibility, one because when I got hurt my first year at JUCO, so I got that year back, so I was blessed with that. And so I went through that, and then so I graduated, and then now I have to go into my grad year, and so I applied to grad school kind of like last minute because I didn't know like I had to apply to grad school. So pretty much like throughout that time, like was training with the team during summer, getting ready for fall camp, and then ended up getting denied from grad school.
Oh.
And then during that time, you're a student, you're an athlete. Like most of the time, like your coaches will be able to help you, to get into a program. Not just like just so you can play, but at the same time, like it was a program that I was actually interested in. So I had I had applied to be into the counseling grad program. Ended up getting denied, and then had told like my head coach, the not athletic director, the director of operation, the guy who pretty much like makes the job easy for the head coach. So he pretty much does everything everything like to help the head coach out to like take stress off his back. And so talk to him, and then I had talked to my linebacker coach, and then he's like he wanted to help me, but at the same time he can only do so much. So then that's when he was telling me to pass it over to the director of operation and the head coach to see what they could do. And then so during that time they was like, we'll take care of it. Pretty much still practicing during the summer, and then it was crazy. And then one day I get a text like later that night, and it was like, oh, feel free to grab your stuff the next morning.
Whoa.
And then I'm like, wait, what happened? And
what?
Pretty much saying like they could have helped me get into the grad program, and then the next day just go and grab my stuff, and then and kids now they didn't say nothing to me, so because they see me the next day, like the head coach and everything, like didn't say nothing to me at all. And after that, I kind of like felt disrespected in that way.
Dang.
And so that happened, and then probably like a few hours later, my linebacker coach called me, and he was sad and kind of like upset about the situation, and I'm just knowing because like I had worked so hard, like I dropped weight and everything, so like, I felt like I was ready, for this upcoming season. And then he offered me to like you know, like kind of he wanted me to stick around and help, you know, like coach with the team, like help him coach the linebackers and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I really wanted to do it just because of him. I would have been around him, and then I would have, you know, learned the game more because he's still to today, he's still a great coach. I call him the GOAT. So really shout out to Scott White. Just really wanted to. I just wanted to just be around just because of him. Just knowing like, not only that, he was also like, he was a players coach. Like he was cool with you. Like if you needed anything,
that would be the best coaches.
Players, anything you needed, like, you know, he'll talk to you. Life lessons, anything, like whatever you needed, he was always there for you, and I always like respected him and like appreciated him for that. And so he wanted me to pretty much be there to help him like stick around. And then I really wanted to do it, but at the end of the day, like I didn't want to go. Like at this point, I'm taking like a little GA really. And then at that point, like I didn't want to like be in those meetings with the coaches and see the head coach.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to be around that environment all the time because I'm always gonna feel some type of way. And then also just feeling like I feel like I got played in that situation. I would have felt like they would have played me if I would have like, you know, been on the little coaching staff, and that would have stopped me from being able to, you know, hit the portal and go play somewhere else. And but yeah, that was mainly into my situation how I ended up at NAU.
Okay, that makes sense. And then jumping into now, what are you trying to do? Like, what's your what's the word?
Goals?
No, not. Oh yeah, I guess you can say your goals now.
Right now, just in the training process. Pretty much trying to get to the next level. NFL, CFL, you know, the XFL is coming back and all that kind of stuff. So mainly, you know, just grinding every day. You know, I'm waiting for that call. You know, just trusting God's timing. Just keeping my faith. Even though it's tough at times, like it's really especially like during the draft. You know, you're seeing, even though I know I wasn't getting drafted, but you know, you're seeing, you know, everybody get drafted. And I was like, you know, people don't really do nothing special. Really, like, I want to say, like, at my position, I don't want to say it, like, in a disrespectful way, but I just feel like, you know, there's only three things we could do. We could set the edge, pass rush, or, you know, just do something really spectacular. So I think you're seeing that, but, you know, always happy for the guys. And then end of the draft, you know, waiting, you know, thinking I'm going to get a, you know, a mini camp invite or signed as an undrafted free agent. So just, you know, going through that this process is tough, really. But at the end of the day, you just got to, you know, keep going, keep believing, and just trusting yourself, trusting your craft, just knowing, you know, you just staying ready so you ain't got to get ready so, you know, when you do get that time, kind of, I would get my opportunity.
Most importantly, trust the man above.
Yeah, always.
Could you kind of shed a light? So like, or shed a light. Excuse me. Could you kind of share, kind of give some advice to some people that might be in your situation or had went through or is going through your situation now, like maybe somebody in JUCO that, you know, hey, I'm commuting. This is tough. You know, mentally it's hard on me. Like, what can you give them advice on, like how to keep going? You know what I'm saying?
Really, just how bad you want it. Really, like there's a lot of things people want in life. It's kind of just like, you know, with J's, like when someone want them J's, like they gonna do whatever.
They gonna
sacrifice everything they can to get.
Like they gonna do that.
Put that thing on credit.
Yeah, you gonna do whatever you want just to get them J's. But it's the same like with life. Like whatever your goal is, your dream is, like, you know, you just keep going. Like life ain't easy. And I tell myself all the time, like, you know, sometimes like life is tough. You gotta remember, so are you. Like, you know, God put his toughest soldiers in them in his toughest battles, and you know, you just got to keep going, like attack it, like whatever obstacles or challenges you face in life, like God put those in front of you for a reason, because He know, you know, you can manage that. He know you can get through that.
Amen.
So I think you really just keeping your faith in God, just praying, because you know He gonna answer your prayers, really. So I think it's always, you know, you're staying focused, trusting in God, and then, you know, with those things, like, you're going to get through. You're going to get through whatever you're trying to go through.
Man, that's what's up. Man, so you know, seeing all that and kind of hearing all that, is there anything else, like, you like to do on the side that's pretty big to you, or that means a lot to you, like a hobby or anything that you do?
Other than football.
Yeah, other than football, just to kind of help your mental, like, you know, because you don't want to be constantly thinking about football all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what else do you like to do besides just football?
I think I do a lot, but mainly I think since like I want to say like high school or like my younger days, like I started like I didn't start doing music. Like I done music, but it was just kind of just like I was just like freestyle, like on the side, like you just kind of like mess around with friends and then I think it was like high school, like I want to say like my sophomore or junior year, I think I dropped like my first mixtape on mixtape on SoundCloud. But I really got.
Hey, what's the mixtape called? What's the mixtape? You gotta shout it out.
I think that one's called Wiggy Against the World. But
Wiggy against the world.
and it was horrible.
So what's your rapper name?
Right now they call me Westside Wiggy.
Westside Wiggy, yes sir.
Yeah, so like I dropped my first
Westside Wiggy getting jiggy. You feel me?
Man said jiggy.
Getting jiggy with it, but yeah, it was crazy. Like music, really. That was kind of like I'm a person like it's hard for me like to open up. But like now that I'm older, kind of like I kind of like slowly do it. Like if I like trust your and such things like that. But like high school, JUCO, and then certain parts of like my time like at San Jose State and all that kind of like it was hard for me like to kind of like open up. So like what helped me was really like I leaned on to like music.
Nice.
So yeah, so it was crazy. Just did like a little small little EP or a mixtape like in high school, but like it was all freestyle. Like didn't write at that time, so
That's what's up.
I just
Yeah.
freestyled and then
What kind of was your inspiration behind it? Like who your inspiration pretty much? I know the answer, but who your inspiration, man?
That's someone who inspired you to start doing music.
pretty much like just being in Compton. Really like I had like Kendrick, Family Minds, YG Hootie. They kinda,
For real?
Yeah.
Oh dang!
So YG Hootie kind of like inspired me. It's always just like seeing his process that he went through in the music, like coming from nothing and then having that grind and then that dedication to what he wanted to get to, and then at that point,
Can you say those two words again, please, for the audience? Just want you to
dedication, and grind.
Yes, because you don't just wake up and rap and make it like that. It's a grind.
It's a grind,
Every angle. Because I just seeing a lot of things like nowadays, like how it unfolds.
Yeah,
you kind of hear from rappers like, nah, I was in the studio 8 hours a day, didn't eat, like this and that, like. That's what they gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was his grind. Like, from nothing. Like where now, like nowadays, like your song, you get your song on like nowadays, like songs pop up like you blow up off like SoundCloud, kind of like how Juice WRLD did, or like TikTok songs and all that kind of stuff. So like it's easier now.
TikTok
to,
for
like,
sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right now,
so you just do a dance to your song, like boom. Now everybody jamming to your stuff. It's like, and the song could be horrible. Like as long as you like now, I feel like nowadays like. Well, I was like, we know we still got those good rappers, but I know like the ones that's not as good. Like if they just say something catchy or like have a good hook, like
bro,
they song fire.
Not even that. Blueface, he wasn't on beat, and he blew up because of that. And then now he's on beat. Now that he's like on the top, every song he does now is just like on beat now. Before it was not.
It's a different flow. It's a different style.
Yeah.
It's some. It gets some. I think it kind of, and he also kind of speaks to the younger generation too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he's kind of rapping and talking about what the younger generation wants to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, in a sense, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So the next question, man. The next question, dog.
These two always go back and forth,
bro. The next question, all right? Give me your top 5. Give me your top 3 top 5. Let's go top 5 rappers real quick. All right, let's go top 5 and then give me Cole or Kendrick. Obviously, you just said it, but you know what I'm saying. We go talk about it for a second.
Top 5 rappers. It's like usually like my top 5. Like, I'm always gonna put my city like before like anybody like out here because not even just like I can relate because like they just spit like real stuff. We got Hitta J3, Family, YG Hootie. We got YS.
Are you naming top 5? Oh, you just naming names. Okay.
Right now, Kendrick. I ain't gonna go no specific order, but like top 5 like all time or like.
Yo,
right
remember the top 5 you like? Top 5 that you like. And we go. I mean, if you want to do new school, old school, but I think that's like 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 5. Pac, DJ Quick, Kendrick, Lil Durk, and my fifth one. Oh man, it's tough because you got Lil Baby, Meek Mill, Rick Ross. It's a
You
lot
wouldn't even
of
put Cole in your
J.
top
Cole.
five.
I was about to say J. Cole.
He was trying to do it.
I was about to say J. Cole, but
He wasn't trying to.
Yeah, because dude, this man, kid you not, coming every day talking, hey, throw some Kendrick. I'm like, all right.
What about some Cole?
Yeah, for real. I'm like, can we get some Cole in there, please?
we threw in a little Cole, but like,
I know I'm messing with you.
but I'll put Cole. He'll be in my top 5.
6.
Like,
He'd be 6, huh?
Nah, he'll be fine. We talked about it yesterday. He'll like if we go like at all time, like I say he'll be that 6 because then you gotta throw in Jay-Z, Nas,
Lil Wayne,
DMX, Lil Wayne. You gotta throw all them up in there.
There's too many good ones, I think, in my opinion.
Lil Wayne
Like,
gonna be my 5. Sorry, not Cole.
I'll give you that one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you that one. I mean, I throw Lil Wayne in there and Cole and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I would go with it. I mean, because Lil Wayne, he started it out, really.
And then you got Nipsey, too. Oh, man.
I'm about to say Nipsey.
Yeah, you got
Nipsey Hussle. His last album, I don't think, through and through, that dedication, finish line. Victory lap, excuse me. Victory lap.
Not a
I said
miss.
finish line. That's Victory Lap. All right, that Victory Lap album was something crazy.
Not a miss.
There wasn't. I think it's crazy. All right, and then so the next question. All right, if you had to pick Kendrick, Cole, all right, we're gonna talk about it for a second because I keep telling this man they equal. I tell this man, let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Okay, they equal. And he don't think so. He think Kendrick better.
Yes, Kendrick is better.
Oh my! Can you give me certain reasons? Because we went hit for hit already. We talked about it.
Kendrick,
They go hit for hit, literally.
he the culture, he for the people. Like, I'm not saying J. Cole ain't, but
I'm trying to figure out what doesn't Kendrick do that, or what doesn't Cole do that Kendrick does. That's what I'm trying to figure out because I try to tell you they equal.
Like, what sets them apart? Like, what's like, okay, well, like, what
Kendrick
makes you
just
say,
went-
like, oh, yeah,
Wait, but
Kendrick is better?
other than the awards, because I be real.
But that speaks a lot, though.
But hold on, wait. But it speaks a lot. But Cole don't, like, in my opinion, he don't try, and I'm pretty sure that's the goal.
Kendrick don't either.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I give you that one. But I'm telling you, like, in my opinion, like, if you tell me how does Forest Hills Drive not win a Grammy? how does what's it called, KOD? How does KOD not get in at least topic of conversation for, you know what I'm saying, one of the best albums without a feature? Like, you know, like how do these things not happen? In my opinion,
Okay, I feel like I could understand it low key, like,
because he's speaking, like you said, Cole's for the people, or excuse me, Kendrick's for the people. Cole has spoke about some mental things that are going.
That's the difference.
And let me tell you, he was doing that at the beginning too, because "Love Yours" on Forest Hills Drive was something just like ridiculously true about life in general. So I'm just curious.
Yeah,
like,
let me
you know what I'm
say,
saying?
you gotta think about it too. Like, society nowadays, they don't want to hear that mental shit. They want to hear real shit, like how he was talking about, like Kendrick and type shit. Because there's a lot of people that can relate to that. Cole, he's like, it got to me though. Like, I fuck with Cole because he's what got me through high school and college and stuff. Just listening, grinding to that stuff. Yeah. Not many people in society want to hear like that type of shit. That's what I think though. I don't know. That's the reason why I think he probably thinks Kendrick is on the top. Then
I mean, you just it's not just because we from the same neighborhood, but it's just like one you can relate to, and it's like, he bring is different. Like when you listen to every different project, like Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, Untitled, like all these things, like it's something different. Like either it's a new sound that he does, but like he changes the flow of his sound, but at the same time, like he stays himself.
Thank you.
Just like now, like even now, like he goes to
because in my opinion, Drake wasn't even in our conversation too.
He's not in my conversation.
Yeah.
Drake's not in my conversation.
I'm just saying, Drake is if you want to go album for album, like
that
Drake's albums go kind of crazy. I can't lie. He's had some hits.
It do, but like it be too soft sometimes. Like I don't want to like.
It's not.
I don't want to hear that the whole album.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get you on that part. But I'm just talking about like Nothing Was the Same was, you know, pretty much Loverboy before Loverboy.
Like views was a good one because like, you know, he had different, like, you know, he had that you know, that the good, like, you know, that get you pumping. Then, you know, you had the little slow stuff that, you know, I mess with, you know, here and there, but I don't know, I used to like, plus like he don't write his music. Like, and that's the thing that kind of
he doesn't write some of his music. He raps about some. You gonna tell me this man don't write his own music? Some of the bars that he was spitting, especially recently, like, come on now. Some of he spits. He can go in. He goes in.
Yeah, he can,
but those are most of his lyrics. Some of the songs, like we talked about it. Some of the songs, like you know, Party wrote. I believe like maybe one song or a couple verses. I'm not sure, but like don't quote me on that because I just read something about it a while ago. But I still think this man is. I mean, his work kind of speaks. He's still working. He's still hustling, and he's still putting out albums, and he's still relevant. That's the thing. That also is a big thing.
No, he's always relevant.
He always gonna be relevant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, like
it's like if you see somebody that dropped a song and you see Drake on it, you tell me you're not gonna click and listen to it. You tell me that because if you do and you click and you see Drake, bro, he gotta be in like the top 10 for you.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna click it, but
because if we think about it, let's go right now. If we go on our phone and look at who we listen to the most, my feed right now, because Drake is featured in a lot of the songs I listen to, Drake would be like top 3. Like it go. Right now, if a show, one of my personal favorites right now has been Brent Faiyaz, and that's because Khalil put me on.
Yeah,
that's only because my brother put me on. Whatever, he gonna hear that later, but that's only because Khalil put me on to that, and I was like, oh, this is smooth. This is a different vibe. He's LA kid. I believe he's from LA.
So, yeah.
I think he's from LA. Got that little like vibe. You just cruising half the time, or like I don't know. It speaks sometimes to me at least.
Yeah, Kenzie, he wouldn't be in my. I don't think he would be featured in none of the songs I listen to.
Who?
Drake.
Okay, I mean.
I think he got Lil Durk, like his last.
You listen to Poetic Justice?
Yeah. But like, it's not in
he featured in that.
He is, but like, it's not in my, like, you know, my top, like, I listen to other Kendrick songs that, like, I don't listen to Poetic Justice a lot. Like, I listen to, like, Good Kid, Mad City, The Backseat Freestyle. I listen to all of those, like, most time, like, I don't know, sometimes I don't like listen to, like, a lot of feature songs, really, because, like,
you just want to hear him?
You just want to hear, like, not just him, but, like, just, like, Lil Durk. You just want to hear, like, just they whole story. Because most time, like, when you do, like, a no-feature song, it's, like, it's all you, like, you speaking, like, what you want to speak about. Where, like, sometimes you might get a feature, and they might, you know, just bring something, like, you just talk, like.
Yeah. And a lot of people, because I gave credit on the last podcast, and for some people don't give A$AP Rocky, they don't put him in there either. He had like a couple good albums that he put out. This was a while ago, of course. I mean, he's been sticking with the clothing stuff and the fashion.
Yeah.
But like his album before, I think it was Long Live A$AP. That one was ridiculous. I mean, he had One Train, it had PMW, it had a bunch of other song features. It had Effing Problem. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, I ain't really.
Kendrick Lamar, aka Business. That.
Ayla, get it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like, me, I didn't really
that was
listen.
A$AP.
I didn't really listen to
A$AP.
A$AP. Really, like, if his song wasn't like, if I didn't hear it on the radio and then download it, like.
Oh, you wouldn't have never known. Okay.
Like his album, like.
I'm the same way. I mean, I'm not going out of my way to listen to him. Yeah. I'm just saying in general, like, he rap about some real stuff too.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah, I liked him, but I never like grabs towards like, oh, let me listen to his whole album.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's a East Coast thing, like East Coast West Coast thing. Maybe I don't know, but okay. So I mean, music's kind of what you been into.
Yeah, music. And then it was crazy. Like during COVID, like I started reading.
Okay.
Like,
oh wow,
that was crazy. Like if you told me like high school, you told me to read a book, I'm gonna look at you like you crazy.
Bro, that was the same way.
I'm still that way.
The same way.
I'm still that way.
Oh my gosh, I'm a little like in between. I'm a little in between me and you right now. Like I'm a little like I do it sometimes. Other times I don't want to. I like it's not I don't want to. It's just I'd rather be chilling. I don't know. Like I'd rather.
Well,
not.
it depends. It's not like it's like you give me a book, I'm gonna read it. It's like I gotta like find something like. If it like the title, like if it's something like, okay, I can relate to, I might read the introduction.
Yeah.
It ain't just like you give me a Harry Potter book, I'm not about to read that. Like I'm like, nah, you put that up. Like,
those are good books. I can't lie.
You read them?
Yeah, I read them, man. I read
that big book.
I read 3. I read the first
Nah,
3.
you're wild.
The first 3, the little ones. The first 3 were small. The first 3 were.
Bro, the big ones, bro. I remember opening up. I opened up just to try it, and I was like, nah, I'm cool.
Because remember the lightning? Do you remember the lightning thief? Do you remember that book at all?
The lightning?
The lightning thief, like Percy Jackson.
The lightning thief. Oh yeah.
Like that was another thing.
Yeah.
That was the first one. I was like, man, I want to read this. And my mom wound up helping me having to read it because it was just too much. And I had to finish it like the night before. My mom stayed up with me to finish. Shout out my mom. Because my mom stayed up and finished it with me. I couldn't, dude, it was tough. It was tough. But nah, the really big ones, I didn't read. Of course not. No. But I did, what's it called? I read the first 3. I think the first 3 are like the thinner ones. They're not the thick ones.
That's
I
still
think
big to me, bro. Like that's too much for me.
Like the Judy B. Jones.
Like,
Hey, no, if it was 100 pages or less, I'm cool.
I used to like high school. I used to have to read some books that got like the pictures and stuff in them. Like you feel me? Like it takes up. You know, like,
and there wasn't enough. Like there wasn't enough of those type of books. Like there wasn't enough of like 100 pages or less, and like small print. It was either 100 pages or less with big print. Or 100 pages or more with little print. There wasn't. So there wasn't. It was like, all right, am I gonna get this done in a week? Like, cause I think our thing was like, we went to the library every week.
For what school?
For elementary school.
It was every week, yeah.
Dude, and they had an AR store back in the day.
Yeah, bro, those was lit.
Never got to go in there. I never had enough points to go in there.
Wait, how?
How many points did you have?
I don't know. I always was in there though.
I mean, no.
I swear to God, I was always in there.
We had our turn to get in there and like go pick something, but I never was able to get like the bigger prizes.
I forgot how you get points. I don't.
Dude, no, you take tests, the AR test.
Oh, bro, I was cool with those.
Freaking, if you know, you know. But in elementary school, this dude was like killing it. Yeah, like
working hard for them points, huh?
Bruh, what?
900?
To go into that store?
Was that like them stores where you get like them big erasers and like?
Nah,
it was just like
toys.
They were
toys.
Toys, and they were known for like good ass books and all that stuff.
So you'll be able to buy more books, or you'll be able to buy like they had like toys set up. It was literally a store that you went and they rewarded you because you know what I'm saying, had your own, and they had to have his own wall. Like that's how much he had. Like
he had his own wall.
Like he had it. So there were stars for how many, you know, the kids when they read, they you know move stars. You know what I'm saying? For every time they got like 100 or more points, you're on that wall. You're 100 more points, that wall. I was like, there's kids 500, 300, 600. This dude had 900. He was by himself. He was by himself.
I'd bet by myself too with 0.
Bro. Dude, elementary school, yeah, it was a tough thing for my dad to get me to read a book. I can't lie. It was tough for my mom and my dad for us to read because it was introduced to us more, or actually not introduced, excuse me. It was given to us more as a punishment. Like, nah, you're not watching TV, go read. Like, dang, like I don't want to read, I want to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, no TV on Sundays because school's the next day and you got to go read. You got to make sure all your homework's finished. It's like, oh my gosh. You know, like, it was that whole thing, man. I'm so glad I'm out of that stage. But, yeah, bro, it was like that. But
yeah, elementary, I don't know. Did I read in elementary? I probably like, what Dr. Seuss like elementary? Or, was that elementary? It's preschool.
Not,
Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss is like,
man. Stop playing.
I used to still read it. Like, you see it on the shelf.
No, Dr. Seuss was like from, preschool to like 5th grade? No, 4th.
That was like
fourth.
Dr. Seuss, they stopped giving to us at Dr. Seuss's. I think they took them out of the libraries now too.
I think they did.
Because they had to take, talking about certain things were racial. I think with racist. Like, they were saying Dr. Seuss was racist.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it's crazy now, like, when you look at stuff, like, the stuff we used to watch, like, you didn't know, like, it was meanings behind it. Like,
man.
Racist. Like, Scooby-Doo, like, I didn't know that was high school dropouts.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that either.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that. What?
Like,
I saw that they did, like, a live action one, and they did where the kids ditched school. Like, they did school, like, and I didn't even notice. And then you rewatch it, and you realize, like, they just skipped school. They were high school dropouts.
Dropouts, high, everything.
What?
I was like, wow.
Dude, so they were all high?
I think Shaggy
Shaggy and Scooby for sure.
That makes sense.
But I thought it was just,
Munchies.
I thought they were just, Yeah, I thought it was just they were always hungry. Like that's what, but no one thought of it. No one thought of it like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nah, that's wild.
That's just you just now.
I just now found that out because of him. What?
Zay, the Santa Claus is not real.
No, I used to just watch it just because it was dope. Watch it. I didn't know the whole meaning behind it. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
What?
There's a bunch of conspiracies when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think the conspiracy with you remember Ed and Eddie?
Oh yeah,
Bro, that was my show.
But do you remember? Did you hear the conspiracy?
No, I need to hear it because I didn't.
Oh no. The conspiracy was like so. Technically, none of those kids were alive. That each one of those kids were dead at a different point in time. Like they were because Rolf was back in the day when they were farming. You know, like I think it was. You know, Kevin was like in the 2000s, Ed and Eddie in the 2000s. But like you had other kids like what was that dude like Plank. Like they were just all kids that were there at the cul-de-sac at one point in time, but like they were just ghosts that were constantly just hunting that. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then the Rugrats, you hear about the Rugrats one?
Nah.
I ain't hear the Rugrats.
What? Y'all don't read into this stuff?
No.
Like, okay, so the Rugrats one is that the son, like Tommie, is actually not alive. Like the dad, like he died, or he was a miscarriage or died, and that's why the dad spent so much time making toys for a kid that passed because it's. You know, did you hear that? Like the dad was making toys. You know, like in most of the episodes, he's like making something, but he was making toys, getting ready for his son. But that he was a miscarriage or he died in the crib or something like that. And Angelica's mom is something happened. That's why her hair is always out. Like or something. And I wouldn't want to say mental health. I don't know the specifics of it, so that's why I'm like giving you guys bits and pieces. But it was just crazy when I found out. I was like, dang, that makes sense because the kids, she'll never get the parents catching the kids talking. Like the parents never caught the kids talking, but every time she turned and she would think like they're talking to her or they're having adventure. You know what I'm saying? And they're not actually alive. Like it's like they're saying the daughter was crazy or something like that. It was ridiculous. That's why Susie's hair is pulled out, like in the thing.
No,
like Miss Susie all dolls don't come like that. Dolls don't come like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro. So there's some other crazy conspiracies you gotta look into too. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, I just read a couple of them, but yeah, they were interesting. So I'll read those. I'll read articles. I'll read the articles, man. I'll be reading the articles, but yeah, give me to read a 50-page book. It's pushing it.
Well, now I do. But
oh yeah, no, but that's what's up, man. I mean, but you're educating yourself. You putting yourself on game. Like that's huge. I mean, yeah, staying educated.
I think that was like, I want to say Nipsey kind of like helped me with that really. I was like when he passed, like you start hearing like more about him. And, just hearing like I think one time it was like a post like they wrote down like a list of, like of books that he read, and then also he's like watching his interviews. You hear him like, he talks about like
talks about him reading,
about him reading and all that kind of stuff, and then. Still to kind of graduate towards it because I'm like, I'm not interested in like reading like you're gonna find something that you're interested in, and I think it's COVID really is like you're in the house like you feel me, you get bored playing video games and all this kind of stuff, and then it was like a book I think it was Just Mercy. I think it was just sitting on the shelf, and then he kind of grabbed it and started. What's
that about? That was the one because there's a movie about it with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, so I think that was I think it was written by Brian Stevenson. I think that was pretty much talking about like the death penalty. I think it was
it against a black African American?
Pretty much like I think he was like pretty much facing the death penalty, and then the lawyer came and like kind of like pretty much helped him like pretty much get to that like from like a crime that like he didn't do, and so I think that is kind of like. Just like interesting because like it was like wow, like this crazy. Like you start reading and learning stuff from it. So I read that and then start reading other like books, and then I read like the 5 love languages.
Okay.
Read that. It's crazy. And then after that, so I think now like I mainly read stuff like that's gonna like help me better myself. Either way.
And when you read into that, you kind of like learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
You pay attention to yourself a little bit more. I think I read that during like my time with myself. Like I was reading that and kind of understanding like, all right, what is that? What does that actually mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody said, you know, someone had actually mentioned, one of my coworkers, he was like, nah, you got to be by yourself. He's like, do you know your love languages? I was like, what? There's languages to this? You know, I'm thinking it's just love. Like, nah, he's like how you give and how you receive love. Like, that's how you understand kind of like yourself a little bit more. And I was like, oh, snap, let me check this out. So I look up online, I'm once again reading articles, and I'm like, oh, snap, like this is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I was like, so, you know, you learn about yourself, a lot about yourself when you read like that.
Yeah, but when I read, I don't have no love language.
What?
Like when I read it, cause I can't forget like it was like words of affirmation was like one of them.
Yeah.
The other one was quality time. The other one was like gifts, like receiving, like you always like
Giving
or
receiving.
like giving. So that one, and then what was the other two?
I know touch was another one.
Yeah, physical touch was another one.
Like always like the clean. That's why some people are clingy and some people are not.
And then what was the fifth one? It was crazy. Just like you just reading them, like it was like crazy. Like it just wakes you up. Like dang, like you know sometimes you just like you get into a relationship or whatever, and it's like you know you just think like what you prefer is kind of like what that person gonna want to accept, but like just reading that you kind of just like it's like it's that whole communication part. And then, what's that?
Communication.
Communication.
It has to be communication.
Was it communication?
I thought that was.
How is it not communication?
I thought that was communication. I thought communication was just communication. Like I thought it was just communication.
That's a big part in a relationship.
Acts of service. That's what it was.
Acts of service.
Yeah, so it was affirmation, physical touch, quality time, gifts, and then acts of service. Kind of just like, I know he's like reading the book. It was like, he kind of like told a story. It was kind of just like, it was like this woman like with her husband, like she I guess it was some part of the house like she like always wanted it done, and then like she would always like nag to the husband like when you gonna get this done, when you gonna get this done, like all this kind of stuff. And then she just kind of like, and I think his love language was kind of just like it was like kind of like
pretty much doing it for her.
Yeah, like kind of something like that. And then she kind of had to learn like, you know, like if you not like don't try to force it upon him, like just give him time, and then like
he'll do it.
Gonna get it done, like just cause like what you want, like don't like try to keep, you know, like forcing it like to like get what you want. And then like she kind of like I think like kind of stepped back to it, and then she finally started getting what she wanted, like when she started giving him like whatever his love language was, which was, I think it was the like quality time or something. It was something like that. And then like she finally like found out like, oh, like, you know, you give him his space, give him time. And then,
words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Oh, you already said that?
Yeah,
My bad.
It was words of affirmation.
I'm late. I'm like, my bad. Yeah. I'm over here like
affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service,
receiving gifts.
And the gifts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting.
And I think that's just like, I know it's also another one. It's like the men's five love languages.
In that little, just reading it, like just the article that I read, like just reading it, it's like, dang, do I do this? Do I do that? Like then I pay attention to it more, and I'm like, maybe I do that more. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, 'cause I think you can still. I feel like you can still just like read, like you don't like you just read the article. 'Cause, like when you just read the book, it's kind of just like tells like people like stories, not stories, but kind of like what they do, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and take it out. So we gonna go ahead and end it, man. We appreciate you for coming in today, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's you know, your journey. I don't think is done. You know, so keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. He coming in every day grinding. All right. He working. He trying. So yeah, man. Keep working.
Sir, appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming in today, showing some love. Say what you said back in again. Zay, go ahead and take us out, man.
All right. Life is not easy, but it can look easy if you're working hard and taking care of yourself mentally. And living like every day is your last. If you live like every day is your last and you like trying to have a good time and, you know, build relationships, surround yourself around people like he was saying earlier in this podcast. If you do that, you'll be successful. And learn from every situation, whether it's good or bad. You can learn something. And yeah.
Thank you. Say what you said. We out.
Yes, sir.
First you gotta let go of that pride.